Well, hello. Sorry it's been a while, Kara. I know it's still in the same week, but it's like later than I like to do my video. It's gonna be hard for me to stay under 15 minutes this week just because it's been such a long period and it's been such a wide range. Like, when I last did my last video, I still had finals left, and I was kind of in that studying depression where you spend like a day and a half by yourself in your room studying, and it's just awful. But I think that means that part of my week, I really appreciated the things I did get to do with people. I got to one morning, Charlie just messaged me out of the blue and was like, "Let's go to breakfast," and that was lovely. Like, we just, you know, talked about D&D and talked about his sister's wedding, and just that was really, really, really great. And then I went out with Antonio one day. Charlie and Simon came over to play board games one day. And it was really, really nice, interspersed by long periods of trying to study, which I felt like I was not going to do because, you always get with the finals, you're always like, can I finish this? Is this going to be okay? I just want to hang out with people and just like, you get like all mopey and stuff. But I finished. I got all of my finals done, which was truly excellent. So, then I was fully on Christmas mode. The night of my last final, my brother came in to hang out with me for a few days, which was super fun. Like, we had a really excellent time. The first night we went to Dirty Dogs, which is my favorite poutine place, which also makes hot dogs, hence the name. And the best thing about it is that it always shows really bizarre game show videos in the background. Like old Japanese game shows, or old English game shows, just whatever weird thing they can find. And just excellent. Like, my brother was just a really, really good chill guest. And the next day, we assembled the bar cart that I got for Charlie for Christmas. Sadly, I can't tell you about all my Christmas things because I know who watches this, and I can't tell them their presents. But I got that for Charlie. I got a Beatles mug for Simon. I got 2 books about the Arab-Israeli conflict for Rebecca, and I already handed all of those out. So here I'm just going to insert a very short clip of the bar cart. Well, as you can see, I made a bar cart for Charlie. And then the other thing that I want to put in here is just when I hung out with Charlie and Simon. And a few other people were there. I took just like a clip of everyone saying hi. We made baked potatoes. Say hi, Rebecca. Say hi, Simon.
Hello.
Say hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. Disappointed that I was the only person who
Say
did that.
hi, Sam.
No, you're fine.
I was going through everyone else.
Well, howdy, partner.
And then the other thing that happened in this period that was a little bit dispiriting, but which I did come back from, was, remember that map I showed you last week for that board game for Lexi? Well, my computer crashed and it was destroyed. And I had a hard time starting it again, but I did. And I think it looks better and a little bit less corny. You have to tell me what you think, though. Anyone, very important. And Ethan told me the white border looked weird, so I kind of did a gradient like sand color around it, and yeah, I'm going to put that here. So this is the new map. It looks pretty much the same as the old one, but as you can see, I did this like sand color boundary. So tell me what you think and if it's as good as the last one. And I also think it looks just like a little bit less corny. And the topic of telling me what you think. If you have any idea what Ethan got me from Istanbul that is old and slightly under $50, tell me. I really can't figure it out. Oh gosh, but everyone came over the day that my brother and I made the bar cart, and Simon got me this super cool game called The Mind. And The Mind is this card game. Sounds really weird if you just read it. It's like, it says in the box, "Are you ready to become one?" You're like, what the hell is going on, right? But the whole thing is that you can play with 2 to 4 people, and the cards are simply numbered 1 through 100. And on level 1, everybody gets 1 card. In order to pass the level, you need to put them on the table in order. You cannot talk. You cannot tell people what card you have. You just have to be in sync with the group to know your card is the lowest card. And you get 4 lives. Every time you put down a card and someone had a lower card, they tell you, and the group loses a life. And it was so much fun. It was honestly one of the best Christmas gifts. Like, I know I'm gonna get a lot of them, but I really appreciate that Simon bought me one, and I really love that game. And I'm now going to proceed to try to pull out the card that Rebecca made me, because you have to see this cover. It is too beautiful for me not to show it off. Rebecca's thing. Rebecca does not believe in presents. She thinks that they're a bad capitalist thing. So she makes cards. And she colored that all hand, which is ridiculous. And so that first full day my brother was there, I got all those things. We played Catan. Paul destroyed us all. And then I said goodbye, my final goodbye to Antonia and to Charlie and to Rebecca, who were all leaving at respective times. And then the next day, Paul and I did a ton of walking. We walked to my favorite Quebecois diner. We got a full-on hearty Quebecois breakfast. Paul ended up finishing my food because I never finished my food there. We climbed Mont Royal, which I'm sure you remember doing. We actually kind of talked about that time as this time we just lazily climbed up. It was the middle of the day. The gift shop was actually open, so we went to the gift shop. I bought a new keychain for my keys, which I cannot think of where I put them, so you don't get to see it, but it's a patchwork squirrel, and I bought it because it reminds me of Julia, because Julia loves squirrels, and, you know, I miss Julia a lot. She is, my adorable little sister. And anyways, so we walked to the cross on the top. For those of you who don't know this, by the way, Mont Royal is the mountain overlooking Montreal. It has a really beautiful view. There's a chateau right next to it, which is where the gift shop is in there. And it just also has this, like, massive open space that has a bunch of, like, squirrel statues in the rafters. Not sure why, but very cool. And then we walked to the cross, which is also, like, a lit up cross that's farther on the mountain. We walked back down. We went to Cafe Code Noir, which, let me tell you, I have been to Cafe Code Noir 4 times since I last talked with you. That is how insane my fixation with this new cafe has been. It is run by this Lebanese guy named Samuel, who is so sweet, who remembers my name, who makes the best mochas, and has really good cheesecake. Like, gotta be careful about that cheesecake if I don't want to, gain a bunch of weight. But, and yeah, and then we went and we got, oh, I forgot the other day we went to Chinatown, which was also fun. But then we went and we got Casamaza, which is my favorite restaurant in Montreal. It is this really delicious, kind of expensive Lebanese place that is so good. It makes this dish that is just like layers of ham and tomato and eggplant and pita, and nothing else is that good. And so then the other thing about this week that turned out to be really lovely is I thought Ethan was going to leave on Tuesday morning, which would have meant that he wouldn't have gotten to meet Paul. But he ended up staying later to finish one of his finals, which meant that he got to go to Casamaza with us. He got to meet Paul. I was really excited. It was so much fun. Paul was intimidated by his wine knowledge. They talked about soccer, which I didn't even know Ethan knew anything about. It was really great because I adore my brother, I adore my boyfriend, and I really, really want them to like each other. So that was good. And then said bye to Ethan, which makes me a little bit sad, but I'll see him in a week. So, and then came back home, and I got to spend a lot of today with Evelyn and Solomon, who are my adorable niece and nephew. And I love them to death, and they're just so cute. And I read a bunch of books with Evelyn, and we ate really good deep dish pizza that my uncle had sent us in the mail, and it was 10 out of 10 experience. And as you can see, I'm now in my room back home. For those of you who haven't seen it, my coolest thing I think I have is these are my best keychains, and I have a world map that I put them all on from where they are in the world. I've got, this is the Kazakh flag, which my exchange student this year, Addie's from Kazakhstan, he got me, and I think that's the farthest one. And then I have NASA up top, and just all sorts of European things. And then over here, I fill my wall with all sorts of different, like playbills and like museums I've been to, and I like that a lot. I don't know if I gave you a great view. I'm sorry if I didn't, but I tried. And then the other funny thing about my room right now is I literally have a million Amazon boxes. Look at all my Amazon boxes over here. And after this, I'm gonna open them all and I'm gonna start organizing my presents. And these I'm very happy with. This is a saucer and a sugar thing, both of which I got from this ghost town in Colorado that is just like really, it was just really fun, and there was just like one business open, and I was like, what is that place? And there wasn't anyone in there. There was just all sorts of beautiful pottery, and there was a list of how much of everything cost. You wrote what you bought, you left the money, and you walked out. That is a lot of trust. That is only trust you find in rural Colorado. It is adorable, and let me tell you, I am so excited to be back in Colorado on the 28th. I am excited to hang out with Ethan again. I'm excited to see his parents. A little terrified to go skiing, but overall it's going to be good. I hope this wasn't too quick or bad of an overview. Oh, the last thing. Julia sent us a box from Italy, And I just have to tell you about it because it was the cutest thing. Cheese, cookies, 2 cakes, more cookies, notes for all of her favorite teachers, keychains for me and for Addie. She put one in for Addie, and it was very cute. And I loved it. I got her socks. It said best little sister ever. And I hope she loves them. And Kara asked you a question last week. You didn't answer it. Who would you like to have as a dinner guest? I expect an answer next week. And gotta unpack all these things. So that'll be all for now, folks.